Robert Mueller's investigation found 10 possible acts of obstruction of justice. Let us examine what Mueller discovered in his own words as laid down by the report. Act 4. President Trump attempted to curtail the special counsel investigation.
June 19, 2017, after some small talk, the president brought up Sessions and criticized his recusal from the Russia investigation. The president told former campaign manager Corey Lewandowski that Sessions was weak and that if the president had known about the likelihood of recusal in advance, he would not have appointed Sessions.
The president then asked Lewandowski to deliver a message to Sessions and said, "Write this down."
This was the first time the president had asked Lewandowski to take dictation, and Lewandowski wrote as fast as possible to make sure he captured the content correctly.
The president directed that Sessions should give a speech publicly announcing, "I know that I recused myself from certain things having to do with specific areas, but our POTUS is being treated very unfairly. He shouldn't have a special prosecutor/counsel because he hasn't done anything wrong. I was on the campaign with him for 9 months. There were no Russians involved with him. I know it for a fact because I was there. He didn't do anything wrong except he ran the greatest campaign in American history." Now, a group of people want to subvert the Constitution of the United States. I'm going to meet with the special prosecutor to explain this is very unfair and let the special prosecutor move forward with investigating election meddling for future elections so that nothing can happen in future elections.
Within hours of the president's meeting with Lewandowski, the president gave an unplanned interview to the New York Times in which he criticized Sessions' decision to recuse from the Russia investigation.
Sessions should never have recused himself. And if he was going to recuse himself, he should have told me before he took the job, and I would have picked somebody else. Sessions' recusal, the president said, was very unfair to the president. How do you take a job and then recuse yourself? If he would have recused himself before the job, I would have said, "Thanks, Jeff, but I can't, I'm not going to take you." It's extremely unfair, and that's a mild word to the president.
Hope Hicks, who was present for the interview, recalled trying to throw herself between the reporters and the president to stop parts of the interview. But the president loved the interview.
July 22, 2017. The president told Priebus to say to Sessions that he needed a letter of resignation on his desk immediately, and that Sessions had no choice but must immediately resign.
Priebus replied that if they fired Sessions, they would never get a new Attorney General confirmed, and that the Department of Justice and Congress would turn their backs on the president.
But the president suggested he could make a recess appointment to replace Sessions.
Priebus believed that the president's request was a problem, so he called McGahn and asked for advice, explaining that he did not want to pull the trigger on something that was all wrong.
That afternoon, the president followed up with Priebus about demanding Sessions' resignation.
Did you get it? Are you working on it?
Priebus believed that his job depended on whether he followed the order to remove Sessions, although the president did not directly say so.
July 25, the president tweeted,
"Attorney General Jeff Sessions has taken a very weak position on Hillary Clinton crimes. Where are emails and DNC server and intel leakers?"
The following day,
why didn't AG Sessions replace acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe, a Comey friend who was in charge of the Clinton investigation?
In light of the president's frequent public attacks, Sessions prepared another resignation letter. And for the rest of the year, carried it with him in his pocket every time he went to the White House.